Damn, actually? Oh, shit.
Obviously, jobs report was not as good as people wanted. People are freaking out on Wall Street. The president's freaking out. The tariff stuff kind of did backfire a little bit, but I'm seeing this as an opportunity to buy stocks. I'm still up overall, and I'm very happy with some of the deals that I was able to snag up today. I was able to get more Amazon shares. I think I got one more, so I'm at 20. I was able to get an Apple share at 202, which I think is very low, especially considering the earnings were pretty good. I think that company individually is going to do well. I got some more Salesforce for around 250 today, which I thought was a pretty good deal. And wouldn't have normally put money in because of the amount of money that I have on the sidelines, trying to build up that emergency account again. But I thought it was a pretty good kind of spree of deals going on. So I snagged a few of them. I thought the market was being a little bit irrational, and I feel like I got a pretty good price on it for, my standards and what I'm willing to pay. Obviously, I think that the jobs reports are not good, but I think for individual companies, I think that it's fine for the bigger companies. I think that a lot of the fear as well, though, is that companies are afraid that they're going to be able to do a lot, or not afraid, but the concern should be that AI is going to replace a lot of the entry-level jobs and a lot of the busy work that a lot of entry-level people coming into industries would do. And I think this is causing companies to kind of rethink, how they're hiring. I also think that maybe there's a lot of just uncertainty going on right now, and I also don't think that, the high interest rates are helping. I do think that we need higher interest rates right now because of the tariffs. I just think that these tariffs are a terrible economic idea. I think that it's a massive cope going on right now. And I don't know. I'm just going to buy more stocks. I think that in the long term, we're going to be okay. I think that we're going to have periods of time where, when everyone's running out, that you want to be running in with more money. I'm a buyer of stocks in the long term pretty much no matter what. I would love to just have a massive portfolio of companies that pay me dividends. And I want to just continue to buy more companies that continue to increase their cash flow, continue to grow, outperform. And Apple's one of those. I mean, they obviously outperformed in China this quarter. I thought that was good. I think Amazon is also going to just continue to grow. I think that the technology is still being undervalued in a lot of these companies. I think that waste management is still going to be a very strong business. Getting some of that for under 230 was obviously also good. I think I'm only going to end up putting 1,200 more in Salesforce, and I think that's going to be it for me for a little while, because then at that point I will have put $10,000 in, and I think that's a pretty significant amount of money for a bet on something. But I really believe that Salesforce is going to eventually increase in value. Same thing with Apple. I think with them doing the share buybacks is going to be more and more valuable. I also think that they're going to be able to profit off of AI without the same level of spend. And I also think that if you're an Apple investor, you should also think that there might be an acquisition of another AI company that they just integrate into the iPhone stuff. So maybe they just look for an existing AI company, and since they're Apple and they have very deep pockets, they just buy out the AI product that they like the most. So I definitely think that's like a plausible path for Apple as well. Just wait until it makes sense and then implement it. But I think that's going to be a good position as well. I think that the whole market, though, has been just smashed because of these just draconian, just stupid tariffs that are not going to work. I think that it's a massive cope to think that they would work. It would be a massive defeat for Trump to backpedal on them. I think for some situations it makes sense for certain industries, but I don't know. I also think this puts a lot of pressure on the Fed to cut rates. But, I also think that maybe this won't even matter in a couple months, to be honest with you. I think there will be new news in a month that we're talking about. Maybe this will be a huge deal. Maybe we'll hear about it for another week. But I think there will be another big development or thing that's going to move the market. So I'm obviously covering it. But if you're a long-term investor and stocks drop significantly and you own some of those stocks and you like the companies, you should probably buy some of those companies when they drop so dramatically and just hold them and then wait for things to really improve, and then sell them when they're, everything's looking like sunshine and rainbows. So that's part of being an investor, is holding through the very difficult times, weathering the storms, being very greedy when others are fearful. I didn't really want to buy a lot too because I really thought that things had kind of risen quite dramatically as well. So I'm glad I'm getting some more great deals. It was also just kind of worked out perfectly. I was able to sell off a little bit, trim a little bit, take some money out, and collect those gains. So that was good. And I was also able to buy some again at a lower price. So getting better bang for my buck after this drop. So I guess thank you for these jobless claims. And this also puts a lot more pressure on the Fed to have to cut rates. So I think it'll work out. I also think that these tariffs are just going to cause more headaches for Jerome Powell and for Trump as well. I don't think that these tariffs are very smart. But you have to be a rational investor when it comes to investing. And I like to buy when everyone's freaking out and thinks it's going to be the end of the world. Because if you're an investor, you have to really look forward to these kind of days because you get to kind of deploy some more capital than you maybe normally would have. So I'm going to try to be, disciplined, look at stocks at a price where I'm comfortable buying them and continue to buy. It looks like I'm going to get some more opportunities to add even more Apple. I would love to get a huge position in Apple at this dirt cheap price because I think that it's, a great deal right here. And I think that's going to be the next position that I add more to. I also, again, like I said, I added more Salesforce. I think that that's going to be something that I continue to monitor. But, I do think that this is big news, but I feel like everyone else has kind of talked about it. I think that a lot of this stuff gets very over dramatized, and if your stocks dropped, I would buy more into them. I think the new technologies are going to help. I think that maybe you could lose more money. Again, none of this is investing advice. None of this is financial advice. But I do think you could lose more money for sure. I think it will probably drop down. I fully expect my portfolio to go negative. But I'm kind of excited for that because that means I'll get a higher percentage of these companies for a cheaper cost. So I'm not freaking out. I'm keeping a level head. Honestly, guys, be completely honest, with a lot of like the NBCs and everywhere else and what Trump's doing and what's happening here, it's all bullshit. Just look for companies that are earning more revenue, making more money in the long term. And it's really that simple. If you see them making more revenue in the long term, having good profit margins, increasing cash flow significantly, you don't have to overcomplicate it more than that. If you're someone who's very patient and willing to wait for a very long time, none of it really matters. I mean, you'll eventually continue to make more money as long as revenue increases. And, as long as, you think the management's very intelligent and doing things very intelligently and, the financials look very solid and it's a business you really understand and you think that their moat's good and you think that the business is moving in the right direction in most ways, that's really what you're looking for and what I'm looking for. So these macroeconomic events create a lot of opportunities to buy at cheaper prices than what you would normally be able to get into. And I feel very strongly that I'm moving in the right direction, that I'm going to make a lot of money. And we'll see what happens in the long term. But I'm abundantly confident that this was a good opportunity to buy some stocks. There might be better opportunities, meaning that we're going to drop further. But I fully expect to drop further and be able to buy more if it happens. It also could bounce back, so it might have been literally the best day to buy. I don't know. I'm an expert at catching knives. It's just difficult sometimes for me to sell out of some positions. So this is a crazy market. I really like it. I like being in it. I'm going to continue to hold. And hopefully we have more good news out of earnings. I mean, I thought that the Amazon and Apple earnings were pretty good. But obviously Wall Street didn't. So that's life. Everything down pretty much today. I think Vici might have been up at one point, but well, this is the journey. It's the difficult days too. So thanks for sticking by, guys. Thanks for watching to the end. Really appreciate you. If you made it this far, please hit the subscribe button, and I really appreciate you watching. Thank you. Bye.